What's up, everybody? YouTube. Today is the detailed version of day 5 of the Next Gold Rush Toolkit. And day 5 was really cool because you start out with $80,000. And so I'm going to go in and show you what I did with my 80 grand. When I did it, let's see, I'm filming this on Monday, so it was Sunday morning that I did mine. And for today's abundance, woohoo, if you're following along for day 5, $80,000. So if you're doing this, please, again, comment below, you know, some of the highlights of what you did with your money. And the whole part of this, the whole reason to do this is just to get your mind thinking in a different way about money. And yeah, it's helping me tremendously, especially through these challenging times. And so for freedom and security, I put $20,000 towards that. And it's a $10,000 towards my November expenses, so I can continue to do full-time creation, writing, my books that I'm working on, you know, YouTube videos, TikTok, all of that, Facebook, Instagram, Instabook. And then I can also focus on PDR training for Trey, my son. I've been wanting to teach him, he's been wanting to learn, and with my recent injury to my knee, like, that's kind of slowed me down a lot. And yeah, to have that towards November, have everything paid for and taken care of, and then I can focus on that. And then $5,000 towards my credit card debt, and then another $5,000 I bought Bitcoin with, and it was $113,681 a coin. So I ended up with what I'd already bought in, like 0.044 of a Bitcoin. With the legacy and creativity, I put $10,000 towards the Suter Family Foundation. Like, I want to build generational abundance and wealth for my family, you know, and my grandchildren, you know, my descendants and everything for the rest of forever. And so what I'm doing to start that up is I'm doing a $10,000 donor advice fund for the family. And it's just a start, you know, to that first stepping stone of how we can do that. It'll create a, you know, it's basically the Suter Family Foundation it's all about legacy and building wealth, and also philanthropy, like giving and spreading all that wealth around, and with really amazing projects that my family is interested in doing. So B-Dub Biscuits is a good example of that. For generosity and service, I gave $10,000 to the local single parents ministry charity, where they're taking care of our local single families. You know, it's hard, whether it's a single mom or a single dad. It's a difficult challenge to make it through the week, especially if you got kids in school or you're having to work full time. And you know, this is a charity designed to help people in need like that, you know. That's just one arm of it. So for adventure and luxury, I did a $10,000 South American travel experience for me. You know, Colombia, Argentina, Peru, go see Machu Picchu, which like I've always wanted to do. Maybe even do plant medicine there, you know. Brazil. There's just so many parts of South America that I would love to, even Venezuela, you know, I'm sure it's beautiful. It's a mess right now, but yeah, so that's my $10,000 travel trip. And then for number 5, for joy and play, I spent $15,000 on the Supercross, this coming 2026 Supercross series, and you know, AMA, Feld, all that, MX Sports. I want to go to every round this year, and just to be there, you know. And so my buddy Jay, you know, he's head of Ducati racing and everything, and so I'm just gonna hang out with Troy Lee Designs and the Ducati racing team while I'm there, you know. Like, I'll just get a pit pass or whatever, Sam a tuner, and then hang out in the privateer paddock, you know, the privateer village. That's where the fun is at the Supercross races. That's one thing I really miss about the Supercross races is back in the day, they used to run daytime qualifying races. They were heat races where you had to win or get certain position, and then you could move up to the nighttime heat races instead of the way they do that now with the time qualifying. But it was those guys in the privateer, that's the backbone of the sport, and I want to support them as much as I can in whatever way possible. Because I don't think they get the love that they deserve, you know, and all the riders, for example. But anyway, so that's my $15,000, woohoo, going to every one of them, and I'm just gonna ride all the races in the Ducati rig, you know. Maybe not all of them. And then for expansion and seed money, I'm putting $15,000. Okay, a good friend of mine, one of my customers, actually his son went to school with my kids when they went to Mangrove of Sarasota, and that's how I met Lonnie Borer, my friend, and him and his family, they run Mowers Inc. in Sarasota, which is in this area, Minnesota, Bradenton, Sarasota, and like it's one of the biggest mower stores around in Florida. That's very important that you're taking care of the landscapers with equipment. But Lonnie recently created his own brand of mower and like built it and just took it to a big show in Kentucky to, you know, show it off to the rest of the landscape world. It's called a Viper, and it's all black with like neon green accents. Like, this thing is so cool. And so I got $15,000. I'm just going to give to Lonnie and say, hey buddy, here's some more seed money, wherever it goes, you know. There's more on the way, and because I'm getting 160 grand tomorrow. But anyway, that's what I did with my $80,000 today. Please comment below if you're following along, or even in your own notebook. Like, first of all, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. We're up to 110 subscribers as of today, and I'm gonna, if you're all, you know, if that's all you wanted to see, I'm gonna talk some more about that. I'm gonna shout out a couple of my subscribers new to the channel, and talk about how my morning rituals are changing and some affirmations that I'm using. So yeah, that's it for here. But if you're following along, please comment like where you're watching from, and then what you would do with your 80 grand, and you can lay it out however works for you. And just know that on day 6 we're gonna have 160,000 to play with. So it's all imaginary, but it's just getting us into the vibration and frequency of what that feels like. And the universe, God, has no other option but to give it to us, you know, when we're in that space. So yeah. First of all, for my YouTube, subscribe, my new ones, a couple I want to shout out. One of them is Michael Lesniak. He's Mike Lesniak. He's like one of the baddest ass auto body guys I've ever met in my 40-something years of doing auto body and paint work. They called him Iron Mike in Prescott, Arizona. And this guy is one of those guys that the car, it doesn't matter what condition that thing is, Mike can fix it, you know. And that's just, he's from, you know, upstate New York, just fucking grit and determination, and like one of the most kindest individuals I've ever met, you know, pure heart of gold. And not long ago, Mike experienced some really debilitating medical conditions that it knocked him down a notch. Kind of like me with my knee right now, you know. This is way less than what he went through, but it gives us an opportunity to slow down. And Mike, you know, I love you so much, brother. Thank you for being a part of this, and an OG supporter of the Vibe Tribe. And you know, you and I got along so well for all these years, you know, and I got nothing but love and encouragement for you. And to see that Mike is still, if you follow him on Facebook, he posts a lot of the cars that he's still fixing in his garage out in Chino Valley, you know, the horses watching and the dogs, and it's just, it's what he was born to do, you know, and he's still doing it, which is really cool. So yeah, support Mike. He's at Mike Lesniak or whatever, I'm not sure. Anyway, I should figure out a way to put links in there to everybody. But and then so thanks, Mike. And Delora Whitlow, she's like my OG soul sister, you know, that I got a chance to meet because of Trey and his relationship with her son Sabian. And what an incredible family. Thank you, Delora, for always having our back and, you know, being there for us, and the way you've supported me throughout this journey of mine. I'm so grateful for you and your whole family, and I can't wait to come visit and spend some more time in Alabama. I probably won't come in the wintertime because it's too damn cold, but thanks again for you and the whole family support. And this morning, the last couple of days I've been working on my journaling, trying to make a consistent practice of journaling positive affirmations and sayings, and I do it in conjunction with EFT tapping. And if you don't know what that is, it's a I can't remember his name, but I follow him and his sister and brother and everything. It's shit, it'll come to me. But anyway, EFT, just look up EFT tapping and he'll come up. And what it is, it's basically all these different energetic meridian points in our bodies. By tapping them, we can reset that frequency. And what I've been doing is I've used tapping in conjunction with my affirmations to really get my subconscious to a point where it's just second nature. Like right now, Section 8, no, Jadina totally understands this. Oh my gosh. My second nature right now is when I wake up in the morning, and it doesn't matter if it's like 2:45 or 5 o'clock. Bruce was waking me up at 2:45 the last couple nights in the morning. My cat. But I'll wake up out of a really like funky dream, and then I'll just immediately go to, oh shit, how am I going to afford this? Oh my God, how am I going to afford this? You know, how am I going to do this? And so I know that's where I'm just owning it. That's where my energy is, right? That's where my subconscious is. And so by doing this, I'm learning to train my subconscious through my mind and, you know, the help of all that is and God and my higher being and all that, to something that feels better. And I have a whole list. Catherine Kerr, my customer that, you know, we traded the book. We didn't really trade, but she gave me one of her big ass books. She gave me all these manifestations, just like a whole list of them, and I just go through and I'll say them and then tap and say them 3 times, and like, I accept this, I expect this. And so today, one of the biggest ones that really resonated with me this morning was, I always have enough money. I think that I think that's what it was. Yeah, I wrote it. I always have enough, but didn't know there's more to it. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Here we go. I think this is it. Oh, no. I always have more than enough. Fill in the blank. Like for me today, it was, I always have more than enough money. And that was felt so good, you know. There was no like, because there wasn't any like greed in it, like I need $1 billion by tomorrow or whatever. No, it was just like, just getting my mind subconsciously to know that I always have enough. I always have more than enough. Yeah, you gotta add that more in there, you know. I always have more than enough. And that, you know, you can fill in anything in that blank space. You know, I always have enough patience for this experience, or wherever it is. And it's one, I always have more than enough patience for this, or I always have more than enough parking spaces available to me when I go to the theater, which I'm at right now. I'm on location at the Van Wessel, and beautiful view of Sarasota Bay behind me. Yeah, so that's the kind of thing that's like shifting my frequency, and that's what I want to. Abraham Hicks, if you don't follow Esther and Abraham Hicks, I highly recommend you do. go see one of her get-togethers, go on a cruise with her or whatever. I mean, just to try to, if you know, most of you that are following this, you probably heard of her, you know, and what they're doing. But that's the thing, is like, we create our reality. Our thoughts become things. Like, this is kind of paraphrased from her teachings, and it's so true. And once you can take responsibility of that and say, but Brian, you don't understand, my life's a total shit show. It's in the fucking toilet right now. I mean, like, it couldn't be any worse. And it's like, yeah, I feel you. I've been there, you know? And the thing is like, just owning the fact that, okay, but that's what I made. And there was a good reason for it. You know, who we really are knows that there's something for us to learn in this. And, really, we got the rest of forever to do it. And so wherever we are, whatever that looks like, whatever we're going through right now, just know that you always have more than enough, fill in the blank of what you need. It's always there. And whether it's money, or if it's time, or if it's, you know, healing or love, I always have more than enough suitors, you know, to spend time with, to get to know, you know, whether that's a relationship or a twin flame friendship or whatever, you know. And I'm so excited to just watch how my entire life begins to change because of those subconscious tools. That, you know, we all have the opportunity, we all have the capacity, we all have the example right before us that we can do that. You know, look at all, I mean, whoever you look up to, whatever you're into, whoever you look up to as like a star, you know, it could be sports, entertainment, political, whatever. Just know that, like, you have that same option to be that in whatever capacity you're ready for. And I'm just so glad that, you know, we're all together on this journey. And you know, definitely feel free to share my stuff with anybody, like and subscribe, you know, my link tree, if you feel the, you know, the urge, you know, to support what I'm doing, you know, buy my book, you know, and do it. And if you're already doing it, give it to a friend that could use it, you know. And I'm working on a few more to get out there that we can, you know, continue to work on this as a daily practice. And I just, again, appreciate you being here with me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you when we talk about day 6. $160,000. Oh my gosh. And maybe you're already there if you've already skipped ahead, or not skipped ahead, just, you know, doing it at your own pace. Love to hear what you're doing with. That's a big amount of money. So peace till next time.